Hello, my friend. Welcome to your sleep story. My name is Stephen Dalton. I'm an Irish storyteller, and it's my great privilege to be the voice that you listen to as you go to sleep tonight. Tonight we will visit a far-off place in a far-off time, a time long gone, before technology existed the way it does today. And we'll meet a woman called Morag, a librarian, who runs a library known as the Library of Sleep. And this library was situated on a Scottish island in a time that most people forget. It's an enchanting and magical story, and I hope you like it. One small thing, if you'd like to support my work, you can do so at Patreon. The link is below this video. Okay, let's do the relaxation session now, which will take a few minutes before tonight's sleep story. I'm going to count down from 10 to 1, and as I do, allow yourself to let go more and more. 10. Feel the support of the bed beneath you, or the floor, or whatever you lie upon tonight. And beneath whatever you lie upon, feel the ever-present support of the earth, our home, our constant support. And with the knowledge of that support now, the awareness of it, see if you can allow yourself to let go a little bit more now, to soften a little bit more now, to ease into this moment a little bit more now. 9. You are safe. Allow my voice to be a friend tonight, an anchor of safety, an anchor of trust that will only ever take you to safe places. And with this knowledge, with this safety, ease more into this moment of peace, this moment of rest, this moment that is yours. 8. Peace lives within you. It is a constant friend, for it is always there, just waiting to be seen, waiting to be heard, waiting to be felt. See if you can find your constant friend tonight. And if you do, where does it dwell within you? And when you find it, see if you can feel it throughout yourself, both in your body and in your mind. 7. The day is done. Whatever has been, has been. Whatever will be, will be. Just let go now. Whatever thoughts you might have about what has been, or whatever thoughts you might have about what will come, in this moment, the best way you can serve yourself is to see those thoughts, recognize them for what they are, thoughts, and not you, and let them go, for they will still be there tomorrow. So watch them float away now, like clouds in a starlit sky, or leaves on a moonlit river. 6. This is your moment. This is your time. Enjoy that fact. Enjoy that you have nowhere to be, nowhere to go. And by moving towards rest and sleep now, you are doing the best possible thing you can for yourself. Perhaps allow a little coziness in this moment, a feeling that because this is your moment, that you move a little bit more under the covers, a little bit more of a feeling of warmth. 5. Feel into your body now. See where you are still holding. Maybe it's in your feet. Maybe it's in your lower legs. Maybe it's in your belly. Maybe it's in your chest. Maybe your hands. Or maybe your face. Your body has worked hard for you today. It's time to let it rest. 4. Perhaps allow a little gratitude now. Gratitude for the simple things. Gratitude for the shelter you have tonight. Gratitude for life. Gratitude for those you care about. 3. Begin to engage with your imagination now. Begin to see a great stone building on a beautiful Scottish island, surrounded by ocean, Night is falling. All is calm. All is quiet. Except for Morag, who is opening the great doors to the library of sleep. 2. Checking in one more time now. Releasing any tension. And 1. Completely letting go now. As I tell you tonight's sleep story. Long, long ago, in a time before computers, or the internet for that matter, there lived a librarian who resided in a little Scottish village on a little island to the north, far away from all that you or I know. This librarian's name was Morag. Morag means great, and great she was. Morag loved her work. She thrived on knowledge. Often, people would come to her library seeking information from a book, but instead would find that Morag had the answers they required. But above all of this, there was something truly unique about Morag's library, for it was not just a place for reading during the day. It was a sanctuary for restful sleep at night, and it was known as the Library of Sleep. The library only opened its doors from 8 in the evening and closed them at 8 in the morning. Here, visitors could come to find peace and solace, drifting into sleep, surrounded by books that read themselves aloud. Yes, for magic also existed in the Library of Sleep. Each evening, Morag would unlock the heavy oak doors of the library. The building was a grand structure made of stone from the nearby mountains, and inside, the air was always cool and fragrant, with the scent of old books and polished wood. Soft, golden lights illuminated the aisles, and if you wanted to find yourself in the coziest place on the planet, this just might be it. Trees grew within its walls, their branches intertwining with the shelves, creating a canopy of leaves that rustled softly in the breeze. The sound of the ocean just beyond the library provided a constant, soothing background, a natural lullaby that complemented the magic within. At precisely 8 o'clock, the first visitors would arrive. They were usually a diverse group: scholars, villagers, travelers, each one drawn by the promise of peaceful rest and the magic of the library. Morag greeted each one with a warm smile and would guide her guests to their favorite spots. Allow me now to tell you of one such night. On this night, the first guest to arrive was Emily, a young scholar with a passion for ancient texts. Emily found her favorite spot beneath a large oak tree that grew near the center of the library. She settled into a comfortable armchair, the soft cushions embracing her, and Morag brought her a book of poetry by the Scottish poet Robert Burns, and as Emily opened the book, it began to read itself in a gentle, melodic voice. We slicket cowrin timorous beastie. Oh, what a panic's in thy breastie. Thou needna start away sae hasty, wi bickering brattle. I would be loath to rin and chase thee wi murdering pattle. The rhythmic beauty of the poem started to lull Emily into a state of deep relaxation, her mind drifting with the verses. The next visitor to arrive that night was Angus, a fisherman from the nearby village. He greeted Morag and chose a nook near the window where he could hear the ocean's soothing waves. The salty breeze mixed with the scent of the library, creating a perfect blend of land and sea. Morag handed him a book of sea tales, and as he opened it, the book began to recount the adventures of sailors and explorers. In the heart of the tempest, the ship's crew battled the raging waves, their spirits as unyielding as the sea itself. Each man held a story, each wave a challenge met with courage and resolve. The tales of bravery and adventure began to transport Angus, his mind sailing with the stories as his body relaxed into the comfort of the library. The next visitor was Isla, a young dreamer with a love for fairy tales. After saying a fond hello to Morag, she found her place in a cozy alcove, surrounded by blooming flowers and twinkling lights. The air was sweet with the scent of blossoms, creating a magical atmosphere. Morag selected a book of fairy tales for her, and as Isla opened it, the book began to tell the story of the Sleeping Beauty. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a princess of unmatched beauty and grace. Her name was Aurora, and she was loved by all who knew her. But on her 16th birthday, a wicked spell cast her into a deep, enchanted sleep. Isla begins to relax and begins to say goodbye to her day, allowing herself to arrive in this magical moment. The next visitor that night was Duncan, a weary traveller. Duncan greeted Morag, introduced himself, and told her that he had heard of this library. Morag, of course, welcomed him, and he chose a cushioned seat in a beautiful part of the library called the garden. Morag brought him a book of travel essays, and as he opened it, the book began to recount journeys to distant lands in a calming, reflective voice. In the shadow of the great pyramids, the traveller found a sense of awe and wonder that transcended time. Each step taken in the ancient sands was a journey through history, a connection to the souls who had walked the same path millennia before. The tales of far-off places and ancient civilizations began to ease Duncan's travel-weary mind, guiding him towards a restful sleep. The last visitor to enter the doors of the Library of Sleep that night, before they were closed to the world, was Fiona the healer. She was a healer from the village, and she chose a spot near a grove of medicinal herbs that grew within the library. The fragrant leaves and flowers created a soothing, therapeutic environment. Morag handed her a book on herbal remedies, and as Fiona opened it, the book began to share its wisdom in a calm, instructive voice. Lavender, known for its calming properties, can be used to ease anxiety and promote restful sleep. A simple tea made from its flowers can bring peace to a troubled mind. The gentle instruction and the familiar knowledge comforted Fiona, her body and mind relaxing as she listened. As the books continued to read themselves, the 5 visitors found their bodies and minds easing into a state of tranquility, and as the night settled in, the library transformed into a realm of serene enchantment. The soft glow of the lanterns illuminated the space, and the light danced off the wooden shelves and the leaves of the indoor trees. The lanterns, hung at varying heights, created pools of gentle light and gave the library a cozy, magical ambience. The trees growing within the library added to its unique charm. Their branches stretched upward, intertwining with the beams of the ceiling, and throughout the library, the visitors were nestled in their chosen spots, each absorbed in the soft, melodic voices of the self-reading books. Meanwhile, Morag had her own special place where she retreated to for moments of quiet reflection. Tucked away in a corner of the library, behind a curtain of ivy, was Morag's personal nook. It was secluded and adorned with plush cushions and a small table where a lantern and a stack of her favorite books resided. And this night, after ensuring all of the visitors were settled, Morag made her way to her sanctuary. She lit the lantern on the table and took a deep breath, savoring the peaceful atmosphere she had created. She reached for one of her favorite books, a collection of Scottish folklore, and settled into the cushions. And as she opened the book, it began to read itself aloud, the familiar voice bringing the ancient tales to life. In the Highlands of Scotland, where the mist rolls over the hills and the heather blooms in vibrant hues, lived a creature of legend known as the Kelpie. This water spirit, both beautiful and treacherous, could be found near lochs and rivers, luring the unwary with its enchanting presence. The tales of the past, filled with magic and mystery, were a source of comfort and inspiration for Morag. And as the story continued, Morag closed her eyes, allowing herself to be transported to the misty highlands and the world of folklore. Emily is still listening to her book. She is fully immersed in the poetry of Robert Burns. The verses flow gently, painting vivid pictures and evoking deep emotions. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like the melody that sweetly played in tune. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry. Emily enjoys the rhythm of the poetry, the satisfaction of the rhyming words, and the thought that these words were written by a great genius long, long ago. Angus the fisherman was still settled near the window, where he could hear the soothing sounds of the ocean waves. His book continues. In the heart of the tempest, the ship's crew battled the raging waves, their spirits as unyielding as the sea itself. Each man clung to his station, eyes fixed on the horizon, where the promise of dawn offered a glimmer of hope amidst the chaos. The captain, a figure of steadfast resolve, barked orders above the din, guiding his men with a mixture of experience and sheer determination. With hands blistered from the ropes and bodies bruised by the relentless battering of the storm, the crew worked in unison. As the storm raged on, the ship seemed to come alive, groaning and creaking under the strain, but never faltering. The sea, though fierce and unforgiving, respected their tenacity, and gradually the fury of the tempest began to subside. As the first light of dawn broke through the storm clouds, a sense of relief washed over the crew. They gathered on the deck, weary but victorious, and looked out at the calm sea that now stretched before them. The captain, his voice hoarse but steady, spoke of the trials they had faced and the strength they had found in each other. It was a moment of profound unity, a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit against the might of nature. Angus's eyes grew heavier and heavier as he listened to the book, transported to another world. In another part of the Library of Sleep, Isla The young dreamer is perfectly comfortable, surrounded by blooming flowers and twinkling lights, and the book of fairy tales is continuing to read to her. The spell, placed by a vengeful fairy, decreed that Aurora would sleep until true love's kiss awoke her. Years passed, and the kingdom fell into sorrow, for their beloved princess lay in an eternal slumber. The king and queen, heartbroken, issued a decree that every prince in the land should attempt to break the spell. Many brave souls ventured to the enchanted castle, where a great hedge of thorns had grown around it, protecting the sleeping princess. One day, a prince of great valor and kindness heard of the princess's plight and vowed to rescue her. He journeyed to the enchanted castle, his heart filled with hope and determination. With his sword, he cut through the thick hedge of thorns, facing the magical challenges that guarded the castle gates. Undeterred by the obstacles, he pressed on, guided by his love for the princess he had never met. At last, the prince reached the highest tower, where Aurora lay upon a bed of silk and gold, her beauty untouched by time. He approached her gently, his heart swelling with love and compassion. As he leaned in and kissed her softly on the lips, the spell was broken. Aurora's eyes fluttered open, and she gazed upon the prince with gratitude and love. The kingdom rejoiced as their princess awoke, and the prince and Aurora were united in love. They returned to the castle, where a grand celebration was held. The fairy who had cast the spell was banished forever, and the kingdom lived in peace and happiness. The prince and Aurora, bound by true love, ruled wisely and justly, their love a beacon of hope for all. Isla is getting sleepier and sleepier, and the book continues to narrate another timeless tale. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a kind and gentle girl named Cinderella. Though she was mistreated by her wicked stepmother and stepsisters, she remained hopeful and kind-hearted. One day, an invitation to a royal ball arrived, but Cinderella's stepmother forbade her to go. However, with the help of her fairy godmother, Cinderella's dreams came true, and she was transformed into a beautiful maiden, ready to attend the ball. In another part of the library, Duncan, the weary traveller, was feeling very sleepy. His book was continuing to tell him about travel adventures. The air was thick with the scent of spices and the vibrant colors of textiles. Merchants called out, their voices mingling with the sounds of musicians playing traditional tunes. The traveller wandered through the narrow alleyways, each turn revealing new wonders. He tasted exotic fruits, bartered for intricate rugs, and marveled at the craftsmanship of the artisans. And then, after much travelling, and after leaving Morocco, and after sailing much of the ocean, the traveller stood at the edge of the Grand Canyon, the vast expanse stretching out before him. The layers of rock, each one a chapter in the Earth's history, told a story of time and transformation. The sun set in a blaze of colors, and in that moment, the traveller felt connected to himself and to the world around him. And in Kyoto, the traveller found a garden of unparalleled tranquility. Cherry blossoms fluttered in the breeze, their petals falling like snow. The traveller sat on a stone bench, watching koi fish swim gracefully in the pond. Each element of the garden was meticulously arranged, and the traveller felt harmony within him. Duncan is now fast asleep, his dreams filled with great adventures. Fiona, the healer, is now healing herself by moving closer and closer to sleep. Her book providing words of comfort and kindness. Rosemary, traditionally known as the herb of remembrance, also possesses calming properties. A rosemary-infused bath can help relax tense muscles and ease stress. Simply add a handful of fresh rosemary sprigs to your bath water and soak for at least 20 minutes. The warm water will release the herb's essential oils, creating a fragrant and calming experience. Fiona becomes the last of the visitors to fall asleep, and as the night deepened, the library became a sanctuary of dreams. Each visitor, nestled in their chosen spot, was absorbed in their book, the soothing voices guiding them towards restful slumber. Emily, Angus, Isla, Duncan, and Fiona, all fast asleep, their minds filled with the enchanting stories and poems. And Morag, having ensured that all her visitors were comfortable and at peace, returned to her hidden nook, the book of Scottish folklore, continued to read itself aloud, its voice a comforting presence. The gentle cadence of the book, combined with the serene atmosphere of the library, lulled her into a state of perfect tranquility, and so concluded another night in the library of sleep.